What's up, everyone? It's Roger here from DisKingdom.com. It is the 11th of November 2016. It's time for your Disney update, so let's jump into it. So first off, Square Enix has announced a new Static Arcs figure is going to be coming soon. It features Sora from Kingdom Hearts 2. It's going to be coming out in May at $49.99, and as I said, it's available for the pre-order now. It's a really cool figure. You've kind of got Sora there with the Keyblade over his shoulder, and he's also kind of got his foot resting on a star. I think this one looks really good, and I think the pricing rise around $49 does seem to be pretty cool. Not maybe quite as expensive as some of the other figures we've seen from Kingdom Hearts, but that one there looks great. Also, this week, obviously there's been lots of news going on around about Donald Trump. And now, Walt Disney CEO Bob Iger has confirmed that Disney have already begun work on the bust of the president-elect, and that will be going into the Hall of Presidents at Walt Disney World. The attraction is closing down from January the 17th until June the 29th, 2017, for the addition of Donald Trump. Now, the attraction did previously close down in 2008 for 8 months while Barack Obama was added. So it's kind of interesting that they've done, sort of, obviously they started work on it. I think they had started work on it a little bit before. Hopefully, they may be able to use a little few bits and pieces for maybe what they had been planning for maybe Hillary Clinton's bust. But there we go. So let's jump now over to some news from ESPN. Now this one's kind of interesting. There's going to be a new documentary on the February the 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. There's going to be a documentary all about what was the XFL. Now, what I found quite interesting about this was, I'm a big wrestling fan. I've been a big WWE fan since I was a kid. And I do remember when sort of Vince McMahon did try to launch the XFL. So this one is pretty exciting. I'd like to watch this one myself because, they've been trying to bring sort of that element of like the WWE and a little bit more action and entertainment into American football. So I do remember watching a couple of games, so I'll be interested to see what this one looks like. So that looks pretty cool. Also, Disney announced its quarterly results, which showed that the shares were up $1.10 per share of the revenue of $13.14 billion for the fourth quarter, which means that the revenue was down about 3%. Disney was expecting to report on $1.16 on its shares and a little bit more at $13.52 billion. So it's not been great in terms of it. And some of the big reasons for that is, there's I put up a couple of stories over on the site going through some of this in a little bit more detail. First off, in the gaming section, that was down primarily due to Disney Infinity had a major impact on that, but also with merchandise. With Frozen no longer being maybe as popular as it once were, it doesn't look as well on the books from the previous year. And as I said, they in this quarter as well, they kind of did very, very well with the Finding Dory merchandise. But with the loss of Disney Infinity from the previous years, because obviously there was no Disney Infinity 4.0 released in either August or September this year, which we saw in the previous few years. So therefore, all of that income does look like they are down, but obviously over time that will come in. The Disney theme parks as well were affected. While the earnings were generally up, they were, and it's been, they've been pulling money in from the Shanghai resort, which is now open, and obviously bringing money in. Now, other previous quarters to that, it's just been going out. So that's been cool. However, Hong Kong Disneyland and Disneyland Paris have been reported that they've got less people there. And also in California, this quarter the last quarter was down. Primarily, given the excuse for that was because the 60th anniversary had ended and sort of people have been going out. I think that might be one of the reasons, kind of similar to what's happened with Disneyland Paris. The 25th anniversary is coming up next year, so I'm wondering if some people are maybe planning to go for that. But also with all the different events going on in Europe this year, with all the terrorist attacks, and there's been issues at Calais for British people going there, whether or not that's all having an impact, and obviously the price of the euro and everything kind of going on there. But also Walt Disney World has had lower attendance. However, that has been offset with the more spending at the parks, and you generally having lower costs at Walt Disney World. So all in all, it's doing well, but they're not so happy on the fact that 2 quarters running now, there has been a decline of guests going to all of their parks, which is not good. And also on the movies and sort of broadcasting network, the broadcasting network seem to be doing all right. That one's bringing in money. The movies obviously have been doing very well in 2016, but we've been reporting quite a few times of how much money Disney has brought in over 2016 with all these big blockbusters. However, the last quarter didn't quite do that because we had a chess movie. We also had the BFG, and we also had Pete's Dragon, all of which underwhelmed and didn't do so well. And in that quarter, there was no major big blockbuster like Finding Dory, Civil War or The Jungle Book. However, the upcoming quarter, I think, is going to be massive for box office when you've got Doctor Strange, Moana, and also Rogue One in there. So this sometimes with these quarterly results, it can look pretty bad, but when you look over the whole year, things will even out. The big problem continues to be ESPN, which continues to be losing revenue. People are dropping off. Apparently, over 600,000 people a month are dropping off as people start cutting the cost of the entertainment. And just generally, the biggest problem for Disney is that ESPN has been one of their biggest incomes. It's over half of the broadcasting and sort of division, and it makes up a massive share of Disney's profits each year, and they don't seem to be able to be sort of recapture people into it. But I think they are working into doing new networks and stuff. So there we go. So that is all of the news from today. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest from DisKingdom.com. Give us a like as well. You can also give us a like over on Facebook, and I'll be back on Monday with another news video. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.